Press back down. Let me bring this back a little bit. Ooh. Greta says zucchini fry.
Was that a belch or a fart?
No, a belch. Y'all, I'm sorry. We sorry. They not being.
No, I'm not sorry.
Me and Craig was gossiping.
I'm not sorry.
We have to be on time.
You might be sorry, but I'm not sorry.
Well, I apologize.
The sorriest motherfucker I've ever met in my life.
That's
that line from
I'm going to apologize for the both of us. However, me and Craig was.
We're only a minute late.
No, we're about 6 minutes late.
No, it says 9:16. Oh no, we all say I put it for 9:10. I started for 9:15. Good day, no. What is this? Let me look it up. Let me see.
Bitch, I need you to get this. We just went through this shit on Patreon. I know this one by heart.
Because you know we just finished recording the Patreon. What's up, everybody? I'm Craig the Writer Stewart.
I'm your boy Keon Stafford.
Welcome to the Thursday Night Live,
where we give you funny shit
to take your mind off the bullshit. Do we need to start over? Let's start over.
Girl, you're crazy.
What's up, everybody? I'm Craig the Writer Stewart.
And I'm your boy Keon Stafford.
Welcome to the Thursday Night Live,
where we give you funny shit
to take your mind off the bullshit.
So sit back,
relax,
grab a drink,
and enjoy the motherfucking show.
Let me tell you something. Next week, when you come over to my house, because this is my second week, I told you I'm going to come over here 2 weeks. Next week, when you come over to my house, bitch, you better know the Patreon and you better know the Thursday Night Live. Intro. Because we ain't doing no good day thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers.
It's good day thinkers.
Same thing.
Thought leaders, progressives,
same thing.
Did you all hit the like button while y'all were worrying us about why we late? Did you hit the like button? And I sure ain't got no cash yet. Did you get a cash yet? I ain't see nothing hit your wallet.
You know what?
I ain't see nothing hit your watch.
Let me go ahead and let me.
He's sitting up here bending my ear back about Grandma Holla over there in East St. Louis. Did we get a cash app? Y'all worrying about this lady with her GoFundMe? Do we need to jump right into that?
Girl, we finna do it. Let me take out my jacket.
What did Funky Dineva say? Did you get this from H&M?
No.
Forever 21?
No.
ASOS?
No.
I know it's a little discount store. I know it came from a little discount store.
They got the zippers right here.
And these little ridges right here.
Girl,
looking like you about to go into Mortal Kombat.
I had to grow into it. Girl, I had bought this size up, so.
Oh, so you can gain some weight.
Bitch, I gained 12 pounds.
I try to tell you.
You know what? You know what, Craig? Not everybody like a motherfucker who got a little wannabe abs. You know, sometimes they like to grab on a little something.
Well, you know, straight women a lot of times will accept a man built like this.
Oh,
is that right?
Bitch, look, put the camera back on me. Ain't nothing wrong with me. I'm built good, bitch. I'm built sexy, honey.
What's wrong with how you
I have a future behind me and I got something in the front.
Well, he alright right now, but he only 28. Wait till he about 42. Now, when he's 42,
I'm still gonna look good, bitch.
But you're 46. He's 46.
Yeah, but I don't eat the way he eats.
Oh.
Well, I'm changing my diet.
But you didn't eat like this all
No, I didn't. But
right.
I did not. But when I was 28, but when I was 28, I looked 19.
No. Yeah, but you weren't eating like.
I wasn't.
You are.
What's this grown man cologne you got on? Girl, you smell like you 65. What's that? Smell it, Tanika. What is that?
That's soap.
No, it's the cologne in there.
It smells like cologne, but I think it's a men's body wash.
It's a grown man's body wash, like somebody that's retired from the railroad.
You know what, bitch? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
This is my girl. Come on over here, Tanika. This is my girl, Tanika. Listen, when you log on to my Patreon, you're gonna get a full conversation from me and Tanika. Then
I'm your live audience in person, and they are your virtual audience. So I'm watching y'all.
That's true. But you know what? I'm not going to put it on my Patreon because I said I was going to upload it to my YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So the conversation that Tanika and I just had, I'm going to put on my YouTube channel. And then when Keon got here, the three of us started having a conversation. That's going to go on our Patreon, which is scrolling at the bottom, patreon.com/.
I was going to take off my jacket, but Greg, it's a little chilly in here.
Yeah, because we don't blast the heat in here.
It's a little chilly.
We got white folks.
They put my shit right back on.
My last bill was $306.
What are you keeping on?
Girl,
70?
what do you do?
I had it on 73.
No, you gotta have 68, 70.
That's white people temperatures.
I keep mine on 70.
That's
I'm black.
economical temperature.
I keep mine on 70. You know, back in the day, they used to say you have to put it on 75. No, ma'am.
They need to have a different rating for black folks and white folks.
No, girl.
Sir, Is this a black house? Yes, it is. And so I'm going to be a minimum of 73 to 75.
Well, you know, you cheating. So
Sure am.
I'm surprised you paying that much. I'm surprised you ain't call the people and tell them that you want to fix the fixed rate.
You should be surprised that I upgraded these cell phones.
I am surprised too.
Can y'all notice the difference in the clarity of the camera?
She want to be like me, honey. She only got the same thing I got.
No, that is not. Oh, do I need to put the light on up here?
No, because you finna blind the hell out of me.
Oh, that looks nice.
That looks better.
Mm-hmm.
It made us look a little orange.
The lesbians in the group are asking if I have any lesbian friends. Well, she is not. As Frankie said and set it off, she's strictly dickly.
Girl, turn this off. This blinding me.
You still be looking down here.
I know, but
I'm trying to get you ready for TV. If you're ever trying to get on TV, you're gonna have to deal with the light right there. You're gonna tell the people I need to turn the light off.
Well, see the difference between the TV lighting and the this light here. You just got this from Amazon.
I sure did.
Yeah, that ain't no good lighting.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. So let's talk about Grandma Holla over in St. Louis or East St. Louis.
Well, let me show
now,
you.
I was a follower and a viewer of her content. I started following her like months ago, but then I kind of fell off. Like when she got really popular, I kind of fell off. Not because I didn't enjoy the content anymore, but only because her granddaughter Shell, she was easily offended by the comments, and I understand why she felt like she needed to kind of combat and defend.
What were the comments?
Well, like people be like,
she just talked too goddamn much. Sometimes
sometimes she was over talking and you couldn't hear the grandmother because she was talking. Well, such and such. I'm not trying to do this. That. Like she'd be defending and arguing with the people in the comments, and so you couldn't hear the grandmother. And I'm like, people tuning in to hear her. Fuck them people in the comments. Like stop letting them rile you up like that. And so she would sometimes get distracted, and it just kind of. So I stopped watching because of that. But I just thought, I knew that they were on to something because the grandmother, she was funny as hell and she was real. And like, as soon as they went live, and then like, I had even thought about reaching out to the granddaughter, Shell, because every time they went live, she'd be like, she would say to her daughter, Maya, can you put the Cash App down there? And I wanted to just email her and give her some tips. But then I said, no, stay away from it. Just leave it alone. She'll figure it out. Because instead of you typing in the comments all the time what the Cash App is, just create a little file in your phone, and then every time you go live, you copy and paste it and just drop it in your live. But I wanted to give her little tips. I said she'll figure it out, so I just left it alone. But she was very sensitive to the comments, and I get it. I understand because even
how old is she?
She probably was around that age. And I get it, but I've been doing it for a while because like when my mother came here and was staying with me, people started to critique me in a negative way, and I had never experienced that before. But everybody had an opinion about how I should do this or how I should do that, or you know, whatever with my mom. So that was the first time I had experienced that. So I understood why she was doing it. But as a person that's been doing this now for a few years, I wanted to be able to say, "Girl, fuck that shit. Don't pay them people no money." But you know, you got to kind of learn that on your own, right? Yeah. So I never reached out. But that was the reason why I stopped watching, because I was like, girl, I can't even hear what she's saying because she's so busy arguing with the people in the comments. Right. But there was a GoFundMe that was set up because Holla passed away. I think she was 97 or 96. She was 96, 97. And she passed away.
Them people raised $47,000.
The last time I looked at the GoFundMe, it was $40,000. Now, originally, they were trying to raise $10,000. And they ended up raising $47,000. $47,000. And a lot of people in the comments were like,
they were stealing. Girl.
Why she need to do a GoFundMe? Like they didn't know they knew she was 96, 97. They knew she was gonna die. What were they doing with the Cash App money and this, that, and the third? Why she didn't have life insurance? But the thing is, when I was saying this on the video that we did before that I'll upload later, when my grandmother died, when my mother's mother died, she was 96 or 90. She was the same age. She was like 96, 97. I think she was 97. And my grandmother took out her own life insurance policy years before. She only had a $1,000 life insurance policy. Now, you know, with $1,000, you can't even open up the ground. Right. With $1,000.
You can get 2 flowers.
I don't even know if you can get a car.
Right.
But my grandmother.
With $1,000.
So my grandmother had set up a life insurance policy years ago for $1,000. So by the time my mother took over the policy, and was making the payments, it was too late. Like they weren't gonna. My mother tried to increase the policy. They were like, "Oh, absolutely. She how old? Oh no, she ain't gonna be around much longer. We ain't about to give you we ain't about to give you no $50,000 policy, no $100,000 policy.
That's like free money.
That's free money. So they wouldn't do it. Mm-hmm. And so my mother stuck with the $1,000 policy. So when she died, they went on and mailed the $1,000 to my mom, but that's like 30, 40 days later. And a lot of people in my family who don't know insurance, who don't know life, was like, well, where's her life insurance policy? And it's like, well, girl, first of all, they got to cut the check, and it takes 30, 40 days for that. Secondly, it was only $1,000. Mm-hmm. What do you think is going to happen? You know what I'm saying? So it was a thing where they had to come up with the money. Well, fortunately, my mother had started saving my grandmother's checks, because when she started living in my mother's other house, mm-hmm. my mother started saving her checks. And so by the time my grandmother passed, she had about, I think it was like $10,000, $12,000 saved, but that was only because my mother was not charging my grandmother rent or anything like that. She was just banking all her money. Mm-hmm. So that was the money that buried her. But my family, my aunts, and some of them were like, well, why is I thought she had money. Like, that typical family bullshit that happens.
Let me tell you, us, when somebody die or when somebody get married, it brings out. Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
It bring out the worst in people, especially when somebody die. But getting back to Holla before, because I want to go ahead and move past this in a few minutes. I just feel that, like I was telling y'all, I feel that yes, she had did what she needed to do with her, however. But I think what happened is because, like I was saying, we're monetized and we get paid from Google, YouTube, whatever, however you want to put it, and they take their money off the top.
Like I tell you guys all the time.
They take their money straight off the top. They don't charge us no taxes, no nothing. So when she went to saying, all these taxes and, they taking this stuff from us, I just thought that she was trying to cover up something. And then, Funky Doniver said, the other granddaughter, I don't know her name, but the dark-skinned one. I said,
on the other video, he said, the video that we're going to upload for our Patreon, he said the ugly one.
The ugly one.
I said, well, which one was that?
The ugly one, he nasty. Got on live and she was just saying, all us pitched in and helped, and she was just making it seem that she was entitled to some of the money.
It's Janice. What's her name?
Janice. That's it. It is. That's because she got like 33,000 followers on there. However, I just feel like the GoFundMe, it was just gonna be some extra money. But Kaya read them for.
What did Kaya say?
What if what if they said?
Can I turn this to you?
Sure. I'm just asking a question because they worked for grandma. They helped her. Grandma didn't know Instagram, right?
And she didn't know how to monetize. I agree with her.
They were on staff. They were grandma's
staff. They were staff,
technically. Grandma's an entertainer and their staff. So what if they had said this GoFundMe is just an offering to our family because she has passed away?
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right?
So I'm going to reply back to that. Even if it was, that is okay. But be real with the people.
I agree.
Don't say that this is to bury my grandmother.
Well, I do think that they took some of the money to bury her.
Yeah, they probably did.
But somebody in the
not when you buying teeth and houses.
So somebody bought teeth.
Yeah.
Oh, got teeth.
Yeah, Michelle went and got teeth done. And then the husband. I was watching and looking at something else earlier. The husband commented and was going off on another blogger, and the blogger was like, I can't think of his name at the moment.
Darian.
Yeah,
Darius.
Something in
the cook who really shouldn't have been saying nothing about nobody because he got so many scandals with him and so many things with the
no, but I think it may be somebody else then because it ain't him. But he was saying, what about all the nice shit that I just said? What about all the different things, how to took stuff to Ricky Smiley, how to just did all this stuff, and then because I don't agree with the GoFundMe, y'all want to bash me.
Surgery too.
But
somebody said I heard plastic surgery too.
Look, but
girl,
listen to
let me tell you about urban rumors. Urban rumors. I don't know if any of that is true. I don't know. What?
Telephone, telegram, tell a nigga.
That's right.
Let me listen to Kyle.
So where the money at, Michelle? Dorothy Brown said you've been stealing Holla some money. Gag on it. And the people say, we knew it. Let's talk about the order. People versus Michelle gonna steal. Gag on her and her swindling ass circle. Share. You and your thieving ass circle is being charged with stealing from the elderly. Lying, scamming, misleading the people. Scamming the people, exploiting Miss Holla. Making the people gang. Stealing our hollers, coins, being a thief in the road, buying new houses and cars that you knew you couldn't afford with Miss Hollis' money, and taking care of your no good at husband and children with Miss Hollis' money, spending all the burial funds at high-price stores and five-star restaurants for Hollis' money, going to the outlet, coming out with bags and bags and bags and bags with Hollis' money, not taking your children to go see a doctor to go get a physical because the gag order, because you was too busy at the store buying snacks with Miss Hollis' money. Dad gonna buy your husband NFL tickets with Hollis' money, and your children put whatever they want in the shopping cart, knowing well you can't afford it without Hollis' money. Using to buy a dinner table so y'all could sit at it, so y'all could have planned a funeral. Gag on the fighting over the money stealing from the dead, shitting on Hollis' other children, making thousands of dollars, but you ain't got $1 to bury Hollis with. Lying like Larry, being messy like Woody Woodpecker, and shitting on your grandmama's legacy like Funky Feet. That nigga been this dirty boss. Trying to stop Miss Hollis from testifying and telling the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth about y'all stealing all the goddamn money all along, and refusing to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth that you and your circle of thieves been stealing all along. Things. But Grandma Holler, who passed on and went home to be her maker, while her thieving ass family members, gag order, was spotted out here in these streets stealing all her money, creating GoFundMe accounts, robbing the people, hiding the money they titty, and we the people say where the money at.
Turn that off.
Look, she told her, she said, I need you to spit them teeth back out so we can return it so we can bury it. Bitch! What she said.
Well, wait, how do they know she got teeth? Because
Bitch, her teeth was one way before she started.
No, but what I'm saying is, Shell never really came on camera.
Oh, she done came on camera lately.
She came on camera recently to defend, like.
But if you go, let me tell you something. These people, just how these people look at us and read us,
you
and
trying to
talk
back
about,
up?
just like the people look at us, read at us, and know everything about us. Let me tell you something. They have investigated that girl page. They know every goddamn thing that them people have done and still going to be doing after all this has happened.
Well, let me say this. I'm not saying that they haven't used some of that money for themselves.
Not some of the money. They use a lot of the goddamn money. Let's not say some.
But what I'm saying is, like, they were like when she was still alive, she would want to buy lottery tickets. Mm-hmm. They went to buy her lottery tickets. She wanted McDonald's frappuccinos.
Okay, Craig, a $4 frappuccino.
No, I get it. But what I'm saying is, they also were bringing her food a lot. Remember, I used to watch these videos. They were bringing her food. She had a lot of takeout. She was eating out every day. And what I'm saying is, no, it may not have amounted to what was being sent into her, but somebody had to physically go and do that. Somebody had to go and do that stuff. Somebody had to set up these videos. If she didn't have somebody setting up the channel, she wouldn't have got none of the money.
Okay, Craig.
So why can't? Hold on. It's no different than y'all pastor.
Oh.
That y'all sending money to. You understand what I'm saying? It's just like, I'm not saying that they should have taken the lion's share of her money. But my thing is, as long as her bills were paid and they were taking care of her, they were spending time with her. Like, they were going over there to spend time with her before they started monetizing. Mm-hmm. And they were the only ones in the family that were doing it. Same kind of scenario that was happening with my grandmother, my maternal grandmother. My mother had a second house where it was like assisted living. And she moved my grandmother to that house because when she was living in her own house, relatives were leeching off of her. Mm-hmm. My grandmother was paying all of the bills in that house. And you got these fully grown, fully formed human beings that are living in the house. And you got this 90-something-year-old woman paying all of the bills. My mother was like, no, you're going to come live around here and you're going to live for free. And I'm going to take your check and put it in the bank. And whenever you need something, you can get something from your check. My point is, if they were taking care, go ahead. What you want to say?
All I'm saying is, Craig, that all of that is fine and good. If you helping her, they need to be compensated as well. I understand it. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is, when you get to putting statements out and lying or making something seem that is what is not, then that shift the narrative. That made me look at you a little different. That's all I'm saying.
I'm with Aqua Juicy. Why do people get mad about money that they're not even getting?
This is what I'm saying.
You ain't not getting money.
I'm not mad about it, but
I agree, though.
I'm just saying.
Don't make up stories.
Don't make up stories.
Yeah, don't make up stories.
You know what I'm saying? Look,
I do think that they probably needed money for the funeral.
Let me just say this. I buried my mama, right?
Right.
I buried my mama. Okay.
And you paid for it.
Unfortunately, my mama didn't have no insurance.
Mm-hmm. She had none or small
No,
amount.
she didn't have none.
Right.
So,
but see, so now your mother was a lot younger than 96 or 97.
Okay.
And a lot of people are like, well, why does she have insurance?
Look, She didn't have insurance. Okay, it is what it is. She didn't have insurance. However, when people did send cash apps or whatever, that didn't, the amount of cash apps that was sent didn't equal up to what I paid or anything like that. So like I set my siblings down because I'm the oldest. So I set my dad down. Look, this is what it is. I gave my dad, this is what we're going to put towards this. This is what's towards this. The cash apps that came in, I'm not even going to say what it covered. It wasn't, what I'm saying is not a lot.
Did you keep them?
No, I did not keep them. Every cash app that came in.
You were entitled to. I mean, you paid for the funeral.
Everything that came in through the cash app went towards my mom's funeral.
I see.
That was it.
Okay, but what if there was extra?
If there was extra, I would have did the right thing.
What would have been that?
So if it was extra, I think after everything was taken care of and everything was settled, I would have split between the months of my siblings and my dad.
Why? Well, hold on. Wait. We should say even though what?
But
no, hold on. No. Because here we are. Here it is right here.
Right.
You're saying that if there was an overflow, beloved,
okay,
you would have split it with your siblings. Okay, that's the people's money.
Okay, but
why did they get? Hold on. Why did they get entitled to the extra? What were you saying?
Go ahead. And I got something.
Okay, I was just saying if you paid for the funeral,
okay,
in totality, and you get some extra cash,
why you can't just reimburse yourself?
Right.
Because I believe in being fair.
That is fair.
But
your siblings didn't pay for it.
I know, but however, they couldn't pay for it.
That's right. So why do they need to get any of the proceeds?
But listen to me. What I'm saying is,
why do they need to get proceeds?
But listen, no, we're gonna get back to the cash app thing for a second because I want to clear this up. What I'm saying is,
I sure would have cash.
I know. Why would because of somebody? It's not like that we're out here flogging and saying, oh, we not buying new houses and cars and anything like. First of all, it wasn't even that much. But if it was, whatever it was, I would have split it towards them. Here, this is what was up because I said everybody at the table. I did everything in front of them, even though I did pay for stuff. But this is what it was. This is what it is. Even to I was the person who pulled the plug and did everything when it was there. Like I set them down and said, hey, this is what is going on. This is what I think that needs to be done, or this is what the doctor does need to be saying.
Yeah.
Everything fell back on me. But however, I set everybody down and I talked to them. You ain't have me and my siblings ain't beef and talk about, oh, Shaheem stole this, or Keon stole this, or Keon stole that. It wasn't like that. You know what I'm saying?
But let me say this. Donnell made a really good point. What we are forgetting is Michelle quit her job to take care of that grandmother. So why shouldn't she?
Right.
And let me just say this. When my mom was here, you all sent cash apps or Zells, and it would say specifically, this is for Mother Gladys, I didn't necessarily give her all of the cash that came in, but I paid for everything she did.
Yeah.
Okay, so why didn't you feel that even though the money was coming in, okay, so we finna get back, so now just flipped around, bitch. You see how I come back around full circle? So look, even though the cash apps was sent and it said for Mother Gladys.
Somebody said, yeah, but we trust you though.
Just like they trust Michelle. Just like they trust Michelle.
I mean, to me, I don't know if she got teeth done. I don't know if she did.
I don't say everybody's not honest.
But what I'm saying is, so your question to me was, why didn't I give all of the money to my mother when they sent it?
Yes.
Because the thing is, it became too much to manage, to be honest with you. Because sometimes it would come through Zelle, sometimes it would come through Cash App. And in Cash App, they would specifically put for Mother Gladys or...
But if you are the primary funder,
I'm her right.
Mother Gladys.
My mother wasn't paying no bills living here.
Right.
I was paying some of her shit back home. I was paying for some of her prescriptions when she... So it was like, I felt, and you may say that I was wrong.
Don't say nothing, but girl, I had to look.
Right. But you may think that it was wrong that I did this, but for me, it was just like, in some instances, like if it was her birthday, then yeah, I sent it to her, right? But if it was just like a general day and we were just doing lives and stuff like that, you all were sending money for her, I didn't necessarily do all of that because it was a lot to manage and a lot to keep up with. But I was paying for everything. When we went to get pedicures, I was paying for that. So even if it wasn't enough money that you guys sent in, I still was taken care of when we went out to eat, when we ordered food in, either I was buying it or Elliot was buying it. So I didn't feel like I needed to.
She got it.
She got it.
She got it.
She might not have gotten it like this, but she got it because she wasn't paying for shit down here.
This person said she only fixed her chip tooth. She didn't get veneers.
Yeah, somebody said she didn't get her teeth done. She just got
That's
a
a few
tooth.
$100.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. These urban myths get so big, and it's like all of a sudden, now it's like she taking care of this. I mean, she taking care of herself.
All right, well, Craig, no offense to Holla. May her soul rest in peace. We loved her. She was a very funny lady. If and however, she should have gave her. She should have had life insurance. She didn't have life insurance.
But that would have been something that she should have done.
Right. Like I said,
Early
she
on.
should have had life insurance. We don't know what the story or what had happened.
And Tony W said people chose to keep sending money to the GoFundMe beyond 10,000 because she was only asking for 10,000 at first.
Okay, but it is what it is. At this point, we're moving on.
Right. Yeah, we're gonna move on.
May Holla's soul rest in peace. Girl, I just want to know when the funeral because I was gonna try to go. So I just wanted to know when the funeral was because I wanted to go. I wanted to go be, one thing about a black person, they want to go to a funeral, be nosy. In a wedding.
But they are
Yeah.
entertaining.
That's what.
They're entertaining. You know, my mother used to go. We had a Barrett funeral home right across the street. She would go in there just to view bodies, and she didn't.
Really? Your mother
she
used to
didn't
go to
know who they
funerals and
were.
just.
She didn't even know.
She said her mother used to go to viewings just to look at people's dead bodies. But no.
That don't look like her. Just saying
Right.
her but look
She looked so good. She like she was sleeping. What does that look like? Girl. But that is a good topic. That was a good conversation.
No, it is. And also too, go get some life insurance.
Yeah.
Go get
I
some
said that the
life
other
insurance.
day.
If you don't have no life insurance, go get some life insurance. Because
Even if it's just a $25,000 policy,
That's right.
that's enough for you to.
yeah.
$25,000 is more than enough for you to get buried.
Now when I leave here,
that
policy
can't be
gonna
more.
set.
That can't be more than about.
When I leave
$25,000.
here, those who are on my policy is gonna be set.
Same here.
And I still need to go change that
He on your policy?
on one of them.
I bet you need to call them tomorrow.
Tonight.
Morning.
Tonight.
But what I was
Is it an 800 number?
shut up, bitch. We're talking about
Yeah, you need to call them. That's the cutoff for that tonight.
But what I was saying was, we're not taught as black people to have a life insurance.
Somebody said, or get burial insurance if you can't get life insurance.
Mhm.
Because sometimes you age out.
Mm-hmm.
So you can still get burial
Yeah, but we're not
insurance.
taught. Nowadays, it's coming more common to talk about and stuff. But growing up, they weren't talking about life insurance. As younger, I do remember what happened to I don't know, but I know younger. I remember it was this guy. He was like our life insurance person. Just knowing stuff. He came to the house.
Yes.
He came to the
Yeah,
house.
I remember.
I remember that.
The guy from Prudential used to come to my house.
Came around.
Somebody said, what type of life insurance should you get that you can borrow against? That's whole life. That would be a whole life policy, right?
Why borrow against it?
Well, Candy Burris said that she borrowed against her. That was a way of investing. So like she would pull money from it, like when I guess the dividends build up or whatever on it. But it would be whole life, I believe, that you can.
Yeah, somebody said whole life.
Yeah, it's whole life that you can borrow from. Term life insurance.
I have term.
You do.
Mhm.
It's a 25-year policy, and it doesn't increase in value.
Mhm.
And so if you don't die within 25 years of getting the policy, then the amount can decrease.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So let's say you have a $50,000 term life policy. It only lasts for 25 years. And so let's say you hit the 25-year mark. It may not be worth $50,000 at the 25-year.
Yeah.
It may be worth 42.
And remember, if you are married, take out insurance on your spouse, even if they don't have it, and you can do it if you're married without permission.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
You don't have to have permission if
You
you're
don't have
married.
to have permission.
Let me tell you something. One thing I learned is insurance, baby.
Exactly.
If I don't know nothing else, I learned that
But you
insurance.
know what? Help your family come up.
Yeah.
Imagine that you pass away and you leave them the biggest gift
Yeah.
financially.
You got a bigger
Right?
policy to leave for your kids.
I ain't saying it out loud.
I ain't asked you
Yeah, I
how much it
understand.
is.
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I ain't gonna ask you how much it is, but you have.
they're taken care of, and then some.
This my home. Listen, y'all don't know who my homegirl is.
Said no new friends. They don't want to
Right.
hear nothing from me.
They can't stand when we bring somebody on here. But this is my girl. Y'all gonna be nice to her.
Yeah.
So she and I worked at Coca-Cola, but I'm gonna upload that video tonight, so you'll get to see it. But because we did a whole conversation before Keon got here. But
Yeah, they was in mid conversation. I told Craig, I know your friend is
And
in
that's
town.
why we
I know
were
your
late.
friend is in town, but we got work to do.
no, she lives here.
Same thing.
But
She's at your house, but I just seen her before.
Yeah, she was here at my housewarming.
Yeah, I understand.
She had a hat on.
She
She
did.
had a
Yeah, I
fedora.
remember. Yeah.
But what I was gonna say was, I've talked about this before on here. If you have children, or if you have family members that you want to leave money to, that's the fastest way, or one of the best ways to create generational wealth.
That's right.
Because like if you
Oh
if you have like $1 million life insurance policy, let's just say you have a husband, you have a partner, and you have a $2 million life insurance policy, and you will that to your children, instantly when you pass away, they get that money.
Exactly.
Or even if it's not 2 million, if it's 500,000 or whatever it is, those policies aren't that expensive
They're
per
not.
month.
They really are.
You just got to shop around. It's just like buying a car.
My grandmother friend was just talking because she wanted to be
Yes, she's my Coca-Cola friend.
if I'm not mistaken, it's called the Living Trust.
A living trust.
Yeah. And
Yes.
her brother died, and she didn't have to go to court or anything. It just automatically when the moment he stopped breathing, everything shifts right on top.
Boom.
So I was thinking about getting one of those as well.
Yeah, a living trust.
I do have like on my policies. I do have like.
How many policies you got, Rockefeller?
Don't worry about it.
Girl,
But
I
I believe that, like you said, because my mom didn't have one. You know, so I believe in if I'm not here because I'm the next. I'm next. So
Right.
I believe in setting up, like
That's
you said,
right.
generation. You know, so.
Somebody said, "Oh, the pretty lady from your Instagram picture."
Do you have car insurance?
Do I have car insurance?
Do you have car
I
insurance?
do.
I bet 100% of the 700 people on here
Yeah.
have car insurance.
Yeah.
We're gonna insure that car
We're
because the
gonna
government
insure-
said you need to take care of your car. Guess what? You come before that car insurance.
Yes.
And the life insurance is gonna be cheaper than your car insurance.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And somebody just said a $600,000 policy is really cheap.
Yeah.
It is.
It is.
It is.
Now I don't have children. I have a policy, and
Who's your beneficiary?
my
Me?
mom and my dad. What?
You do got children.
Oh, so you need to be a beneficiary.
I did, because I want to right by you. Like I said a couple of lives ago, I ain't gonna say it no more. When that man is gone, your child is still gonna be
That's
there.
right.
And I'll be goddamn, look what happened.
Well, let me tell you something. When I'm 75,
Bitch, I'll wipe your shit.
you better be around.
Girl, I may throw
And
up.
then I will create a policy for you.
Oh,
I may leave you all of the proceeds to words never spoken.
Oh, okay. Look, okay.
You
But
know?
no, but what I was going to say was, and I'm a person who believes in this as well. For car insurance, I don't care if you have a goddamn hoopty, put full coverage on it.
That's right.
I put full coverage on it. Let me tell you something. I had a 99 Alero. Bitch, it had full coverage on
I
it.
don't even know what an Alero is.
It's an Oldsmobile.
We're like, what is an Alero?
Girl, y'all know.
And pull it up. I need to see a picture.
This car and another Oldsmobile car was on. They was very popular. It was called the Intrigue. Y'all don't remember them cars?
I know major brands. Honda, Toyota.
But the Oldsmobile was the shit back in the day.
I remember the Oldsmobile Skylark. But somebody said I borrowed from my life insurance policy to pay a portion of my daughter's tuition, college tuition. Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So you can pull from.
I've never seen this in my life.
That's what
I remember that car.
Yeah,
I had an Alero.
Yeah, I had a four-door.
Oh shit! Open it up.
Look, I
do remember that car.
You remember this?
Somebody said I had a gold one.
I had a gold one too. That was how mine looked. It was gold.
Y'all remember this car? I don't remember. I mean, I do remember it now.
Let me tell you. I put some 22-inch rims on
That's
it.
it. Instead of you putting them 22-inch rims on hold on. Instead of you putting those 22-inch rims on that Oldsmobile, you could have just got you a Honda, a basic life.
Bitch, and I put some bass in the truck. That's how mine used to look right there. And I had put some rims on it.
Oh my god.
Oh my
My
God.
grandma gave it to me.
The gold one was very popular.
Yep, I had a gold
Oh, your
one.
grand-
I've never heard of that.
I forgot that car was called that. I remember seeing it. Though.
Oh,
So that was your grandmother's car.
Yeah, my
and then
grandma.
she gave it to you.
me. Yep. And the only thing I had to get fixed on it was the water pump. And bitch, when I tell you I broke that motherfucker out.
No, I do remember that
The
car.
goddamn engine blew. I broke that bitch out.
I'm sure you did.
Honey.
My God, today.
But yeah, I don't care. Somebody said my daughter.
My daughter had an Alero. I never really liked American cars. This
Yeah.
Jeep is the first American car that I've ever bought.
Really?
I just never
But you
trusted.
only had two cars.
I've had more than two cars.
How many
you
cars you
bitch.
had? You had the car you read
What car I read?
back in the day.
I ain't had no car that I wrecked.
You told me you had a car, girl. You told me you had a car that you kept, you had an accident in, and it kept breaking down or something like that.
I ain't never told you that.
Girl, I know I ain't tripping.
Yeah,
Y'all know the story where the car. No, let me tell you one thing because you have told the story on live. So
I have not.
y'all remember that car that I'm talking about Craig? They
No.
said that it broke down, or he had an accident in it, or he wrecked it, or something like that. Or you wrecked somebody's car or something. It was something in that nature.
No.
Okay, but anyway.
Oh, Pontiac. I remember.
I remember Pontiac.
I used to win the Grand Prix so bad.
Them Grand Prix were fast.
Mm-hmm.
But no, my very first car was an 83 Toyota Corolla. And I got that car in like 93.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like 10 years old. And it was used. It was a hoopty. I know, it's the alcohol. And it was a hoopty and all that stuff. And so that car got hit when I was in high school. Then I had a Honda.
He had a car in high school.
Oh, so you're trying to say I'm rich? My family was
He's rich.
It was a $500 car.
Could we say this on live? Because we just talking about. So, what's your name? Tanika. Girl, what happened to Lynn? I thought Lynn was just over here.
Lynn went on vacation. She's out.
Girl, you have so many friends coming over here, girl. They be coming in and out. But Tanika.
Lynn is out of the country and she'll be back.
Okay, Tanika me and Tanika was talking, and we was talking about how we had to get what we have today. We had to get it out the mud. Mm-hmm. We had to grow and we had to get it.
So did I.
No. What you said was that Gladys and Mr. Milton, they gave you some stuff. They kind of gave you a little push.
You had a car. They paid your rent. I don't know about that.
Y'all will hear this conversation on the video that I'm going to upload. I was telling them a story. See, this is why you can't tell black folks some stuff because they'll throw it right.
But we're not throwing it in your face, Craig.
That's a blessing.
That's a blessing, is what I'm saying.
Somebody said, y'all talking about I remember the Pontiac. I still have one.
But what we're saying is, Craig, that is a blessing because a lot of people and a lot of us are not fortunate to have people to give us a push. You know what I'm saying? So it's not nothing to be ashamed of or like trying to put your business out there. What I'm saying is that is very good because a lot of us, and I think, and that's where you go back to generation wealth, like insurance and stuff. I think that's why that is so good because that is a push. That's our push to help people back in that,
and we deserve that. And that's why so many of us who got it out the mud, when our kids get 18, they're like, oh, you got to go. You got to figure it out by yourself. No, they don't.
Exactly.
No, they don't. Help them the way other communities help.
The way other communities help.
My kids can come back. Let me tell you something. Right. You go out there into the world, and it's a little rough, come on back home because mama's going to help you. That's how it should be. But we think that we need to send our kids to the wolves.
And they got to figure it out on their own.
No.
But white people, white families, they will take care of their kids. Let me tell you something. Now, let's get into this. I can't
I'm going to say something too.
Okay. I can't tell you how many times I have watched House Hunters or Property Virgins or any of them other shows over there on HGTV, and you got a young white couple, they 28, and they buying a $300,000, $400,000, $500,000, $800,000 house because their grandparents or their parents gave them some money to help them.
Right.
And like for some reason, as black people, we sometimes feel guilty about being able to bestow that kind of thing on our kids, and it's just like, no, fuck that.
And we're so entrenched.
Why we gotta make our kids struggle?
That we think everybody has to struggle.
Right. We're so stuck on that struggle story, and it's just like when people make it. It's just like when people make it. Like we're like, oh, well, he think he all that now, or she thinks she all that now, or she done moved out of the hood. Well, wasn't that the goal?
Right.
Wasn't that the goal for us to do better and move on? It's just like people say, black folks, usually we talk about black shit, white shit. Tonight we talking about black shit. It's like we say we want people to make it and we want to cheerlead people on, but then when they make it, it's just like, oh, I ain't supporting him no more. He done made all that money now, and It's like, well, girl, then now I can go and do other good in the world.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna tell you something, and then remember your point. You remember what you were about to say? I remember when things started to turn around for me from doing these lives, and it wasn't just doing lives. It was the book sales increased and merchandise, hoodies and sweatshirts and whatever. The things started to change. But the thing is, when I start to do better, then I can do better in the community. Like we just did a 500 care bag giveaway. I would have never been able to do that 5 years ago. I wouldn't, but because you guys have been able to support me, it's just like, oh, well, let me figure out how I can take some of what they've done for me and give to other people. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's like you paying it forward.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't look at it that way. And I was very reluctant when things started to turn around for me. And like, I didn't want people to know that I had gotten a car, not this car, but when I first got a car, I didn't want people to know because I knew that there would be people like, oh, child, I ain't supporting him no more because
he has this.
Right. And I was afraid for people to know that, oh, well, I'm about to buy a house. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like, I'm not going to be, and Madison said this to me. She said, let me tell you something. Your people are going to be your people. The people that are going to support you are going to be the people that support you. Yeah, you're going to have people that are going to fall off and be like, oh, child, I ain't supporting him no more because he did it. And I realized that she was right.
Yeah.
You're going to have your tribe. Like I have my tribe in terms of my friendship, my friends, but I have my tribe here too. Like the people who are going to support me regardless because they see what I'm trying to do in the world. But what was the point you wanted to make?
I forgot now.
Oh my God. I completely said, don't forget.
I know, as soon as you said it, it's like it wiped it out.
You said I was going to, because I got a point too.
We were talking about insurance, but girl, continue talking.
Yeah, your people are going to be your people. But, but the goal is to move out of the community. That's what I was saying before that.
But it doesn't mean that you can't reach back. Because some people think, I have to keep it real. I need to be in the community. No, you don't. You can do better and you can reach in and you can pull people out or you can invest in the community.
Exactly.
Right? You can do that. And in order for us to better ourselves, we have to elevate.
Yeah.
But I know with my children, Sean said this. They always have a landing pad with me.
That's right.
Always. When it gets rough out there, come back home.
Come home. You should have a
You
safe landing spot.
And we think that we love a struggle story.
We do, as Black people.
We love a struggle.
But everybody's story doesn't have to be that.
It doesn't. And I have to tell my family this, especially when they talk about my children and what they experience and what they have. And I even have to remind myself. Because I say, you know what I say to my children? I'm happy for you. Mm-hmm. I'm happy for you in the life that you have because I don't know this life. And I struggle with the life that they have. But then I remind myself.
Because you don't know what life.
The life that they have.
Exactly. Because she grew up. So the video that I'm going to upload for you guys on my YouTube, the channel, the conversation that we were having before Keon got here, I said in that video, she's from Bed-Stuy. She and I met in 1998 at Coca-Cola in a call center. She's still there today. When I say she's making...
I grew up in Kingsborough housing projects in Brooklyn, New York.
She making plenty of money now.
Jumping double dutch and they start shooting and you see your friend's body on the ground. Literally, that's where I grew up. And so I thought I have to give my kids something different.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. But sometimes I see the difference and I'm like, damn, they have it good.
And then also as a parent who struggled, you want your kids to have some grit.
Mm-hmm. You do.
You want them to have some grit.
You do, but I'll tell you, I'm gonna make this short because y'all like, why is the camera on her?
No, go ahead, no.
I ain't gonna make this real short. We had a family therapist. That's another thing. Family therapist. What you need that for? We had a family therapist, and I told my therapist, my kids are not like, they're not like assertive. They're not like trying to go at it. And she's like, they're not like you. And I was like, well, now that you say it, maybe. And she was like, do you want your kids to experience what you experienced that made you the way you are? And I said, hell no. And she said, that's why you're that way. That's why you know how to get it. That's why you're scrappy. That's why you're resilient. That's why you're resourceful. Because you had to struggle, but you don't want your kids to struggle.
Exactly.
And your kids are actually normal. You weren't. I was like,
your kids are normal and you weren't.
She was like, your kids are normal. They shouldn't be thinking about, I gotta grind.
How am I gonna eat? How am I gonna survive?
I gotta help my mother with rent. They shouldn't be thinking about.
Because what's the thing you said before we came on here? You said, doesn't the sun shine? Or you say to your kids?
Because I tell my kids all the time, do you think the sun's gonna shine tomorrow? They say yes. Is the moon gonna rise? Yes, because the universe is perfect.
The universe is perfect.
It's perfect. You put good ripples
into the universe, and good ripples will come back to you.
It's gonna come back.
I say it differently to you guys all the time. When you put good vibrations into the universe, it has to come back. Mm-hmm. No matter who you blessed or who you hurt, it has to come back to you. It may not come back from that person, but whoever you blessed or whoever you hurt, that shit is coming back. It's coming back. Mm-hmm. It is coming back. Now, what were you going to say?
So what I was about to say was when she was talking about it. So she had started talking about leaving the nest, and how she will let her kids come back. But what about those people who can't go back, right?
Yeah.
And then also too, what about those people who always said, "Well, I want better for myself, so when I get 18 or when I get 17, I don't want to go back. I want to get out. I don't want to be or do the same things that my parents did." But also too, you have different. I look back at my siblings and think it's different. Are you the only sibling?
No, I'm the oldest.
You're the oldest.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this question: you looking at your siblings, right? Where even though y'all were in the same household, it's like y'all was raised differently.
Oh yeah, we're very, very different. I was the oldest. My mother was 17. My father was 17. My father got shot and killed, like right in our neighborhood. Right, it was crazy. Like
Brooklyn.
Look, I'm do the right thing in real life. Right,
That's
the movie.
This is do the right thing in real life, right here.
But my brothers are different, but they also process what was going on around them differently, and they didn't have therapy.
They didn't have that. Yeah.
So think about that blackmail. You lost your father. You seeing people get killed right around you. Well, how do you process that?
Right.
So we have to deal with that trauma.
Right.
So the reason why I asked you that is because you said because I was the person I always said as a child. I always said when I get old enough, not where I can move out and I'm not going back to my parents' house because I always believe that every grown person needs to have their own. But what I was saying was, you was the parental sibling, just like I.
That's such a good time.
Yeah,
You said
I say that all the time.
What did you say to me the other day though about you didn't get a chance? Was it you that said that to me? You had a conversation. I want to see if you kind of remember. And you said something about you didn't get a chance to be a child or something like that. Or?
But I didn't say it like that, but what I said was I said that by me being the parental sibling, I had a childhood, but you touched it and you said it perfectly. I had to think about, okay, how can I help mom to get the lights done? How could I get food on the table? How could I?
When you were busy, when you should have been a child.
When I should have been a child. So that made me become the person I am today, but also too, it kind of affects you in your adulthood. It affects you in your adulthood because of why I say that is because now I look back at my siblings and I'm like, we were in the same household, so why y'all don't have the same skills or the skills that I don't have? And it's just like, well, you gotta think about it. Mom and dad was younger when they had you. Then when they got older, they were more settled, then they still having kids. So it's the same lesson, but taught different. You know what I'm saying? And then also too, it's just like I was telling Craig, I was telling him, I just don't get it. Like at first, but I had to sit back and you have to. Sometimes you have to say shit out loud. Yeah. When you say it out loud, it registers and it and I was saying to him, I can't think of the exact words I said to him, but I was saying somehow they got to get it. Just like how I got it, they got to get it. You know what I'm saying? And I can't baby them no longer. So it's just like, so when you said about your kids, it was like, okay, well, we can go back, but what if they don't want to come back?
It's true.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just different things. So you have to think, well, and I always say this, when we're talking on this platform, it's a lot of people that can relate to you, relate to Craig, and relate to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of different.
I took my kids to St. Simon Island. And I watched the kids on St. Simon Island on bicycles. They were so whimsical. Like they looked like kids in a movie. They looked so happy, and there weren't parents around them. They were just riding their bikes free. And I looked at them and I thought, I don't know what that feels like. I don't know what that feels like, but I hope my kids feel like that.
Yeah.
Because when I was young, I was like thinking about who's behind me. Like
you were on alert.
I was on alert. Like, okay, I'm about to go through this neighborhood. What do I need to be mindful of? No kid should have to think about that stuff, right? And that's what our family therapist said. Your kids are who they should be. They're whimsical. They're fun. They're free. They're not thinking about survival, right? They're just thriving. They're not surviving. And so,
but because we come from a different generation and a different geography, because you got them kids in the suburbs. Their day-to-day is different from ours.
But this is the last thing I'll say. We deserve that too.
We deserve that too.
We deserve to be whimsical and happy and not struggling and survive and not just surviving, thriving.
And even when you're in college, like a lot of times these white kids, they'll be in college, they're not working. They have their parents that are supporting their tuition. A lot of times with black kids, we're working. Now, I was fortunate not to have to go to work, but I know a lot of friends.
before I lose my train of
They're
thought.
trying to create this narrative that I grew up with a silver spoon in my mouth.
I'm not trying to create that narrative.
You will see when I upload that video.
No.
It is not the case. But what I'm saying is like, anyway, somebody on here.
What we're saying, Craig, is you didn't have it, and I can.
What you're trying to say is it's subjective. You're trying to say I didn't have it as hard as the two of you.
Right. That's that, and that is okay.
But
Don't look. Listen. Calm down for a second. Look, that is okay. But if you didn't have it as hard as me and Tanika, right? Why do you want to make your story that way?
Right.
I'm not trying to make a story.
But listen, just listen to hear us out and the things that we have.
I heard you.
But it seems like you're trying to, and black people do this all the time. You trying to damn yourself when you should be continuing your life. You should
Like
be brightening your life.
I was
Because
blessed that I had
right.
parents who were able to.
No, I do say
even
that.
though you may have struggled, but your struggle wasn't our struggle. We just can relate to each other because we had the same struggle. You, on the other hand, you had a struggle, but it wasn't a hard struggle.
My mother used to say, when I first moved here, when I met you, and my mother used to say to me, you need to learn how to sacrifice. I'll never forget her saying that to me. She said, you need to learn how to sacrifice. I was like, what do you mean? I am sacrificing. I can't go shopping the way I used to.
Mm-hmm.
I got to pay rent now. She said, that ain't sacrificing.
That's not sacrificing.
That's just.
And I didn't understand sacrifice until I got into my dream, until I started
But you know
pursuing.
why Craig is trying to.
I'm trying to what?
Okay. Yeah.
That's what you my friend. You might be forming an alliance with him.
No, but let me tell you,
Okay.
We all struggle.
Go ahead.
People are fascinated with struggle and that story of grind and getting out of the mud, and that's almost like your credibility. If that's not your background, you're not credible in our community, and that's not true. That's not true.
And that's just like fuck. I forgot what I was gonna say.
but like I said, find your thought. But what I was trying to say is, when people say they had to get it out the mud, I always ask, what is your definition?
Right.
Of mud. What is your definition? Because our muds may be two different things. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So what is your definition? But I think we have the same definition. Craig,
Okay, you don't.
you got it out the
You're
sand.
different, yeah.
Yeah, you got it out.
But I think he got it out the sands of like the Gulf Coast because the sand is smoother than the Atlantic.
Oh, whatever.
But no, I just want you
Tried
to. And I'm not. And let me say this because I don't want to offend nobody. That doesn't make your parents bad parents.
No.
That doesn't make them bad parents. It's just they had to learn. And sometimes life happens. They may have had kids early, or they may have lost their job, or they may have had to go through a life experience where it's, I got to choose my kids over myself. You get what I'm saying? So just because you struggled, and I look back and I said, well, damn, like, why couldn't I do this? But it was just like,
but I was going to something you said.
It don't make my parents a bad
That's right.
Yeah, something you said made sense though. You said your mom and dad were 17. How old was your mom?
my mom was 29 when she had me going.
And see, my mom was 32. Your mom was closer to my mother's age.
Yeah.
That plays a difference
It
too.
really does.
Because when I was in elementary school, like say when I was 10 years old, my mother was 42.
Yeah.
But most of my friends, their moms
mothers
were, they were 23.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
They were 25.
Mm-hmm.
So they were younger. They had them at like 13
Gladys is
or
more
15.
stable. She was
Right.
stable.
So my mother was more stable.
And I grew up with my mother and I grew up
Together. And I didn't notice that. So I used to be ashamed, and I think I may have talked about this on here before. I used to be ashamed when I was in elementary and middle school, because I felt like I had an older parent.
Ooh, my daughter gonna be ashamed of me because I'm 47 and she's 7.
Yeah, she might not be, but she probably will be. But I remember feeling a little ashamed because all of my friends, they had parents that were like 25, and they would come to school. They would bring their kids to school in these nice little motorcycle jackets. Their hair would be whipped up and nice. They were dating drug dealers, and they'd be fancy with their nails and shit. My mother would come up there with hair rollers and a scarf on because she didn't give a fuck what y'all thought. And I'll never forget. I said to my mother, "Can you please not come to my school with this nightgown, with this thing on your hair and these rollers?" She said, "Child, I ain't thinking about these people. I got my hair curled yesterday. I just got my hair done yesterday. I'm not taking my rollers out. I'm just dropping you
It's
off."
the same mother that bought him a car when he was in high school.
Exactly.
So you trying to make me get ugly on film. so she would come there, and I'll never forget, I was in the last period of my class. This girl named, I told this story before, Meredith McFadden. If you're watching this, I'm talking about you. I'll never forget, you know how people be jonesing on each other in class? And I'll never forget, I said something to somebody, and Meredith McFadden said, "Oh, Craig, I know you're not talking because we saw Miss Glass. I saw Miss Glass come up here this morning with those hair rollers in her hair." I was so mad when I tell you I got home that day. I said, "Man, don't you come up to my school no more with them rollers." But I was so embarrassed. But like all of my friends, they had younger parents.
Right. Somebody just said 47 with a 7-year-old. I know.
Right. I'm telling you, my friends were young. Like, their parents were young. And they had the little sports cars. But what I realized was it balanced out when I got to college. Because when I got to college, most of my friends' parents were the same age as my mom. Yeah. And the kids who had parents that were younger were the ones that were struggling.
That was me.
To pay their tuition.
That was me.
And it was because my parent and their parents. Yeah. And my parent and my other friends whose parents were my mom's age and my dad's age, they were more settled and they were more prepared. Mm-hmm. So I started to appreciate it then. The light that went out, the light died. But yeah, so I appreciated it then, but at the time I didn't. They talking about Meredith is in here in the comments.
Oh, Meredith, the one you were just
Meredith McFadden. She ain't in the comments. But no, it was different. It was definitely a challenge.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say this one more time before I let it go. Don't dim because you didn't have to go through that struggle. Right. That's actually a blessing because I know it's plenty nights you was probably up worried. I know it's plenty nights. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people all the time, when you had to really get out the mud, you don't know getting out the mud. Yeah, you may have struggled. Yeah. But you ain't get it out the mud or out the, like hard, like where you had to. So I just want you to embrace that because look at you now. You get what I'm saying?
Be proud that your parents were able to do that for
you. You moved out the hood, bitch. You moved out the hood. You still moved out the hood. But we had to stay there just a little longer.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I am my dad's only child, and yes, I'm the youngest. Somebody said, I'm 50 with an 11-year-old. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's why I'm gonna have have my kids like within the next 2 years because I'll be 29 in April.
That's a good age to start.
I don't want to be 45 and 50 and 60 and I always tell people I hate when people say it's not the right time for you to have a baby. It's never gonna be the right time. Mm-hmm. You can never prepare for a child. You can never prepare for that.
You can't.
I believe that as when a child comes, your life changes and you go with what happened, as life
like happens. You just said. What was that thing that you said?
When a child is born, so is the
mother.
So is the mother. The child is born.
She was a woman, but she was not a mother.
She was not a mother. So you figure yourself out. And the same is true for men. Mm-hmm. When a child is born, so is the father.
Because my nephew, who used to cut my hair, I told him, because when he and his wife at the time renewed their vows, they wanted me to host. And so I went and I spoke. And one of the things that I said was, having his first kid grew him up. Because he was just cutting hair in my mother's basement. Yeah. Living in her house. He had no plans of moving out. And she co-signed for a car for him. He was still living at the house. But then when he had that first kid, that's when he aspired to move out. He aspired to do his own thing. You know what I mean? That's when
How old was he?
How old was he when he had Tyree? He probably was about 19, 20.
No,
something like
19,
that.
20.
Yeah, something like that.
I think 29, 30 is a good age.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think it's a good. I had my first at 30. I had my second at 32. And then I lost 3. So I was like, oh, okay, well, it's not going to happen anymore for me. And I'm blessed to have 2. But that's how the 40th birthday surprise hit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So that's
John Jordan, didn't you used to work at Coca-Cola? This is my girl from Coca-Cola. I think John used to work. What does he say? He said, I could count on my parents growing up, and I still can, and they are seniors
That's
now.
Beautiful.
The difference now is that they can also count on me.
Oh my God,
yeah,
that's awesome.
Financially, personally, etc. I've always felt stability growing up. That's awesome, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Exactly, and stability. I don't know what that's like, right? But in some ways.
Yeah, John did used to work at Coke. I thought he did.
Oh, really? I mean, stability sets you up in a way that you don't even realize.
Yeah. Yes, Tanika, I love that.
Yeah,
about the mother. About the
because so many people, fathers and mothers, after a child is born, they're trying to figure out who they are and why do I feel different. You are different. You're a different person. Yeah, it is true. He said he worked at Coca-Cola 7 years ago. Oh.
He said he worked at Coca-Cola 7 years ago.
I'm with Keon. I would have split it with my siblings too.
The money.
The money.
That's a way to keep the peace because people get weird with money after death.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do.
They get really weird.
Yes, they do. That's the truth.
39, no kids. I don't think that's my ministry.
I don't think that's something.
Maybe not, but you just never know. Because 40 is not what it was when I was.
No, it is not.
Hey, let me tell you something. I thought, and y'all know I get on here, and I'll be the first one to tell you what I did at a young age. But the generation now,
mm-hmm.
Oh yeah,
and me and my sister was talking about this yesterday or the day before yesterday, and I was telling me and my sister was talking, and it was just saying, I was saying even though I'm a gay male, what I hate that they're doing now is they're putting in like the cartoons and stuff. I don't like that.
Putting what?
Like putting like gay things in cartoons.
You don't like
and stuff.
that? Why?
So let me say this: it's okay putting in there, but I think when they're growing up, like how we knew, well, how they would say a man and a woman or whatever like that. That's fine. Now that we're in a different light or whatever, but I still think that it shouldn't be like forced on them, like where they should say, like I think they're doing it in a forceful way, like, or they're putting too much out there.
You think so?
I do, because they should be seeing the cartoons that men, like two men is like get ready to do.
But that's real life. So
that is real life.
But I just don't agree with that.
They show a man and a woman. That's real life.
Yeah.
Some people have two same-sex parents.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see themselves represented.
I think that it's okay with educating them on that, but I think that they're putting too much on the television.
Like if my children see a gay couple on television, what does that mean? It's not gonna.
That's okay.
Yeah.
But I think they're just putting too much on TV. Like they're just opening up too much to them at a young age.
Kids
like,
are exposed to a lot, especially because of social media.
For
They're
sure.
exposed to a lot more than they can process with their young brains. I guess.
So what I'm saying is, it's just, I think when I was 11 versus 11-year-olds now, it's two different things.
Yeah.
And I was going to say it earlier, just like a 40-year-old mother and a 42-year-old mother now versus when we were 40. It's two different things.
It really is.
Mike, you picking up what I was trying to say. I was waiting for him to finish. When people say stuff like that, like they putting too much gay content out, that's the same shit that white people said when black people started getting introduced to television. Well, why do we got to see all these niggas on TV now? There's too many niggas on TV. Why we got to see these niggas in magazines now? It's the same thing. So it's just like, why shouldn't you see gay people? Why shouldn't you see black people?
I think y'all missing what I'm saying. I'm not saying that it's bad.
You're saying that it's too much.
I think they're just putting too much on them.
Well, that's the same thing that white people said. They put too many niggas on TV now.
I agree. We just gonna agree to that.
What I'm telling you is,
I'm listening.
White folks said the same thing. They got too many niggas on TV. Why all these niggas on TV now? Why these niggas got to come to our restaurants? Why these niggas got to come to our schools? That's the same thing they were saying. It's black people have always been there. White people just didn't want us there. Gay people have always been there. They're just now allowing us on TV. They're just now allowing us in film, in books, on stage, in theater.
My question is, what happens to children that are exposed to homosexuality and heterosexuality? Like, what happens?
Right.
That's the question.
Yeah.
Do they become gay? Like, I saw a gay couple, I'm gay now.
Right. It's not gonna jump up. Listen, let me tell you.
We talked about it.
Yeah. When I was at Hampton, I'll never forget, I used to always go to, like, when we had a speaker that come, like Jocelyn Elders, the former what was she, the attorney general or something? The one who said that young people should masturbate and stop having sex, and they removed her from her position. But Jocelyn Elders came to speak. Susan L. Taylor from Essence Magazine came to speak. And Elin Harris came to speak. And at the time, I was a closeted gay boy named Craig. And I went to hear him speak, and the audience was packed. And I'll never forget, he said, one of the first things he said, wow, it's really nice to see so many fellas in the audience. At least you know that it's not gonna jump, the gay is not gonna jump off of me and onto you.
Really?
He said that. He said that.
Wow.
Because it's just like,
yeah,
that's not how it works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like showing gay people. Now, I do think sometimes it's overdone.
Well, someone said
like Empire. Every time you looked up, somebody was a lesbian or somebody was gay. It's like, okay, God, is everybody queer?
right. But
So why you can't? Why? So just like you just said.
But no, but you're saying
But
that you
no.
don't. But no, you said you don't like to see it in cartoons. I'm not saying that.
But I think that it's
I'm
just
saying
too
that
much. If you notice what I say, it's just too much. And you
No, you specifically said I don't like to see it in children. You said
no. What I did say was, and somebody, where that comment?
someone said there's a lot of mature content that's placed on children. That's true.
That's
but
true.
There's a difference between someone seeing a homosexual couple and mature content. Like if you see a husband and wife interacting lovingly, right, and then you see a homosexual couple interacting lovingly, is that mature content?
Exactly. That's just life. Right? That's right.
It's just you can see mature content that's heterosexual.
And it's just right. And it's just like when I think Cheerios was the first commercial that I remember seeing where it was an interracial couple. And
right. I didn't say too much.
And they had a biracial kid at the table.
Yeah.
And it created so much pandemonium.
I remember that.
You remember that? And it was so much talk about what are they doing? Why are they trying to influence us? And they're trying to push.
Couple.
Yeah, they're trying to push this interracial couple thing. No, they're trying to represent the landscape.
This is actually happening in every
That's right.
society.
And so my thing is with you, what I'm saying is slightly nuanced from what you're saying. What I'm saying is I do think that sometimes television and movies it's overkill. Like every character doesn't have to be gay. Like on Empire, every time you looked up, somebody was sleeping with somebody was bisexual or somebody was whatever. Yeah. But you were saying I don't like to see it in children's cartoons. Like I don't think they should put it in there.
That's not what I said.
Well, what did you say? Because she said
what I said.
What did he say? Because she said, well, what if they want to be represented too?
What I was saying was, and like I said on here, I think that it's too much. It's too much. I think if somebody said it's overexposure, like when the last time you sat and watched cartoons?
I haven't.
Okay.
I do because I have kids.
Outside of Coco Melon.
Yeah.
Outside of Coco Melon, they have, I can't think of all of them right now, but they just have certain cartoons. I was like, why do they got that in there? It's like everything is sexual, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I don't think it's too sexual.
So when I was saying too much, I think it's like it's okay to have, we know girls and girls, guys and guys, lesbians and gay guys. That is fine. I'm okay with that. But I think it's just too much sexual content that's in cartoons.
Well, I think in general.
But it's just, why should a 3 and 5-year-old be watching it? And even to when we were, well, y'all older than me, but even to when But what I'm saying is we still have some of the same stuff that we shared some of the same things. Even to when we were growing up, they would cover it up or bleep certain stuff out. Think about all the cuss words, and it's not about sex, but think about just all the cuss words. That's why you have 3-year-olds and 2-year-olds and stuff knowing all the cuss words and knowing how to use it and how it should be used. Yeah. But I just think that it's too much. I don't think that they should force all of that onto kids at a young age. Is what I mean by too much overexposure. So when I was saying that, I'm not saying that about just gays in general, but I think it's just too much in general and then at a young age too, it's just too much before the parents can explain it to them. Yeah, they already got it.
And
you know what I'm saying?
I've experienced that with my kids. They figure out stuff and learn about stuff before I'm able to help them through it.
Right. Somebody said the plane, Keon, land the plane.
It's landed. I landed the plane. But I had to get my point across because they were trying to comfort me.
No.
But a lot of people got what I was trying to
No, I understand what you're saying now, but originally you said
too much. It's too much.
No,
bro, I want you to watch the replay.
No, I am going to watch the replay, but what you said.
Too much too soon.
Right.
I agree.
I agree with too much too soon. In general, not just the gay stuff, just period. But you said something that sparked her to say, well, why shouldn't gay kids gay stuff be shown in cartoons? Because gay parents or parents, they exist and they should be represented. So that's what I was challenging. I'm not saying that it's not extra or too much. I do think that sometimes when it's sexual, hell, I think it's too much for adults. I think that the gay community is so over-sexualized, and that's why a lot of you all don't even think that monogamous relationships are a thing anymore. Most people are, and I was watching a clip from the Breakfast Club yesterday, and Lala said, I don't think most people are looking to be married. She said that's not the conversation that most people are having now.
Yeah.
Most people just want to have a little peace. Most people want to have a little side piece. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody's really moving towards.
Those values are changing.
Those values have changed. We live in a different. The zeitgeist is different. The zeitgeist.
So before we end, so this is a question that and me you had this conversation on camera and off camera. So are you gonna change your standards? Because
no, I'm not changing my mother's standards. Because somebody said to me, you don't have to change what you want in a relationship.
That's right.
What you want, you can have.
Because
I say all the time, what you're looking for is also looking for you.
That's right.
I don't know who I was having this conversation with. But it was within the last 3 days of this, of this week. But I agree with the matter of fact, I think it was my friend Meech. But I definitely agree with when you were raised in a two parent household versus a single parent household, because now you see the difference.
Yeah.
Like how you were saying earlier, it was something that you was talking about earlier. But now you see the difference where it's two parent household versus one. You can see it how people react now, how people are thinking in relationships, and it's just a change. Like it's just a change. So
yeah, but it is different. And in fact, when I was in New York, remember last month, Mike and I had that same conversation. And he was just like, I just don't think that people are really moving towards relationships anymore. Most people just want to kind of be able to do their thing. They want to fuck who they want to fuck and just spend time with people when they want to spend time. And it's just, it just feels like that's where we are now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why I said to you before, I was just like, it's just so much out there now. It's just like, I just don't know where I fall, where I fit in. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause I just feel like everybody is just open to whatever.
To whatever works for them. I think the ultimate goal is freedom. I think we should all be free to want what we want, to need what we need.
But be honest about what you want. Up front.
Like push away what society says you should be, what your parents say you should have, and just do you.
Yeah.
I mean, because if I didn't do that, I would never have gotten divorced after 10 years. And not to take away anything from my ex-husband, but I've never been better. So do you.
And that's it.
And that's that on that.
I thank y'all for letting me come in. I know y'all weren't expecting me.
I know.
Like, who is she?
Please hit the like button.
Yeah.
And it's no shade to you, but baby, they don't like to share us.
They don't like
to share us.
I just happened to be taking my daughter to the Braid Bar and Cranberry was close by. So I was just here. This isn't planned. I will be here again, but it was nice to chat with you.
And I was like, come on over here. And so we were just gonna have some wine, and just do what we do. Well, this is our second bottle.
I only had one glass
though. Mira said, I enjoyed her though. And D. Fraser said, you good. But I am going to do a live one day with Tanika, because I literally said to her, a week or so ago?
And I said, I'm scared of live.
She said, I'm scared of live. So that's why before we came on here, somebody, Mike said, let's be clear, we don't like to share Craig.
That's Big Mike.
No, that ain't Big Mike. That's Mike Watson out in Phoenix. But no, but the truth is,
he just trying to make you feel good because he know you. He just trying to make you feel good.
Because he know what?
He know you need a little extra love, and he know I'm strong.
Rich kids need a little extra.
Get that shit out of here. How you know he just don't want me to feel good?
Well, however you want to put it, however you picked up what I put down, same thing.
But so Tanika was like, well, I'm afraid of doing live. So that's why before we went live, she and I did a video. Like I said, I'm going to upload it to my YouTube channel. I was going to put it on my Patreon, but the conversation was so good. I'm like, oh no, I need to put this on. I need to put this on YouTube. Thank you, Jackie. I ain't no Cash App. Did you get?
We ain't sitting around the baby, let me tell you something. Let me tell you how we know this was a good live.
We here working for free.
Let me tell you how we know. Let me tell you how you know this was going to be a good live. Bitch, we jumped straight in. We ain't run no commercials. We ain't seen the offering around. We ain't do nothing.
Oh, I didn't even do the opening. I didn't even do the intro video.
We didn't do that. We just
went straight up to the live.
So y'all so for those who say, y'all get 4 or 5 minutes of commercials, y'all got nothing but us tonight.
Basically. Yes, women do bring a different perspective. And I'm going to tell you something. Thank you, Bug Nita. And I'm going to tell you something else. And I said this to Keon recently. when I'm in a relationship, I go to my female friends for advice. I don't go to gay men. Because gay men, well, men, period, have a different perspective on relationships.
It's so true. And I had a situation with a male, and I came to Craig over the summer.
Yeah. And what I've learned, and this is just for me, I'm not saying you got to do this. Lenny said this was too short. But what I would say is, I've always gone to my female friend. I go to her. I go to Angela. I go to Dr. Young, my friend in Maryland. I go to them because what I've learned is women have a different balance. Women have a different perspective. They're not jaded in the way that some men can be. They're not as proud, or prideful as some men can be. My female friends are always giving me balanced advice. They're like, well, no, let's think about this from a different way. They're always thinking about it completely opposite of me. Like when I'm on that side of the fence where I'm like, fuck this. Fuck him. I'm not calling. They're like, well, wait a minute now.
Let's bring that back.
Let's bring it back. What if he was thinking this? Like maybe you should be the bigger person and say that, well, you were wrong when you did. Women have such a different perspective. And for all of the men, straight, gay, whatever you are watching, bounce some of that off, some of that advice off of your female friends that have good advice. And vice versa. Because I'm telling you, my female friends have kept me fighting in relationships. You know what I mean? Like when it was something that
I agree, Kimberly.
What's she saying?
That's why we need a woman.
Right.
President.
Right.
One day we'll talk about female leadership and how it's so different and how it's what we need right now. But
that's
a story for another day.
Yeah.
You know what? And you can say what you want about my college, but
what college
did I work for?
Oh, it's a college? I thought it was a trade school.
No, bitch, it's a college.
It's a junior college?
There we go.
It's a junior college.
Look,
but what kind of degree they get? They get an associate's at the end or what? Or is it a bachelor's?
They get associates.
Oh.
But it's all from the president on down. It's all female leaders.
Do you think it makes a difference?
It do.
Yeah.
Because we had recently, since I've been there, we had a male and he kind of shook it up a little bit, but a female came back in and just jumped back. And what I like about it, all of them,
they're black. Thank you, Nicole. She said, because you know the value of $1. And then thank you, Sean Yarborough, Miss Pulley, Wiggins. Hey, girl, hey. Behind her smile, thank you very much. Wayne Mills, thank you very much.
Wayne rich.
Wayne got to be rich because every time he logged in, he's sending money.
He's sending money
to the super chat and to the cash app.
Thank you, Wayne.
Wayne don't be playing. Wayne might have a good sociable security check.
Yeah.
Sociable security.
What I was talking about, you remember the other day I said, it was probably about last week or the week before last. I said, something just don't feel right. I said, one of our followers used to watch it, don't watch no more. I was talking about Lacey. Lacey have been,
he died.
Yeah, he died. Lacey have been popping up on my social media lately.
Oh, really?
Like memories.
Like a memory.
Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, it's Lacey. So it's Brown.
It's so beautiful that you guys are so connected that you know when someone's not showing up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and because he was so involved, and it was just like, oh my God, like so he definitely was a good person.
Thank you, Shauna Yarborough, also, because you sent a Zelle. I did see that too. So thank you, Shauna.
Somebody said, Craig, are you single now? I'm lost.
Yes, I am.
Get up, Slim. Walk away. Let him see the switch. This man a walk, baby.
That's part of the reason my dad called me Slim. That's Slim. He'd be like, you got
this
that
was
walk.
fun, y'all.
I know, right?
If y'all want to stay for about another 10 more minutes, I got another conversation I want to talk about.
Okay, what?
So I asked this question.
Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button. Thank you very much.
Send the offering plate one more time. Ushers, look.
They want us to work for free tonight.
So I'm gonna ask you. So
thank you, Justin Brown.
It was a conversation I was having, and I wound up making a video about it and posting it on my social media, and people was commenting and stuff. So, do you think, and it's on threesomes? Do you think that do you think that it's a difference when, or is there a difference when a guy asks his woman to have a threesome,
Mhm.
of course, it's going to be 2 women and him, versus if a woman asked her guy for a threesome and it was her and 2 other guys.
Oh.
Is it a difference, or you think it's the same?
Is it a difference with what?
It's a difference for the man.
It's a difference for the man.
Because well,
yeah.
a lot of straight men, first of all, act like they can't be in the same room with another guy that's naked.
They don't. So I will tell you hypothetically.
Like they don't see it.
Because I was talking to a couple yesterday.
Hypothetically.
Okay.
If you talk to a straight guy about a threesome, he automatically thinks that it's about 2 women.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But if the woman said, no, I'm talking about 2 men.
Yeah.
And me, he'll walk out and you never hear from him.
That's
again.
right.
Okay, so pause right there. Pause. So that's the same thing that the couple that I was talking to yesterday about, right? And I asked the guy, I said, well, have you ever ran the train on the girl? Y'all know what running the train on the girl is, right? So he said, yeah. I said, so what's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
You're still in the room with
authority
with another guy.
Authority is a difference.
No. I told him because he was saying, well, I'm another man. I don't want to see no another man penis.
That's what I just said.
That's what he went to. I said, but when you was in that room running that train on that girl, did you see his penis? He said, yeah. I said, so what's the difference?
The difference
By pleasing your...
The difference is one was his idea.
Right.
And the other was hers.
Mm-hmm. Ownership.
Yeah.
I just think there's no difference. I think that a threesome is a threesome, but if it's a 2 women and a guy or a girl and 2 women, what about pleasing your partner is what I was trying to get him to understand. So I was saying,
first of all, if you're in a relationship, now this is just, don't email me because I don't give a damn. My opinion is if you are in a relationship with someone and you want to protect that relationship, you want to sustain that relationship, you want that relationship to work over a period of time, you don't need to be nowhere near a threesome. I don't care if you're domestic, I don't care if you're out of the country, because Wendy Williams used to say that bullshit.
What she said?
She used to say, well, if you need to do that out of the country where it's not somebody that you're connected to, so you'll never see them again. I just think that you're opening up Pandora's box.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if your relationship is already challenged, if you're facing issues or whatever.
That just adds more complexity.
That adds more complexity. And because what happens is whenever 2 people lay down to have sex, one person always gets up with feelings.
mm-hmm.
I'm going to say it again because somebody missed it. Whenever 2 people lay down to have sex, one person always gets up with feelings. And if you and I are in a relationship and then we go into having a threesome, you or I are going to enjoy that threesome a little bit more than the other.
Mm-hmm.
And then in my experience, and I don't do threesomes, but in my experience of hearing or having conversations with people who have threesomes, what ends up happening is one of the people in the relationship ends up going back without the partner.
Simeon said they like the new a little too much.
That's right. They like the new a little too much. And what happens is they always agree, we only gonna play together. And then what happens is I end up being a sneaky motherfucker and I go hooking up when you ain't there.
Mm-hmm.
Or you go hooking up when I'm not there. It's like you need to leave that shit alone. That is not going to change your relationship. That's not going to bring you closer. I just don't think so.
Well, we're going to leave
what
it
you
there.
think?
I told you, I think a threesome is a threesome because I was looking at it.
Would you have one while you're in a relationship? Thank you, Justin, for my cash app. Thank you, Justin.
Me, no. I never had a threesome while I was in a relationship.
But he's had one. Did you qualify? Did you know? He's never had one while he was in a relationship.
See.
So the subtext is, but I have had one when I was single.
Reading in between the lines.
Right. When was the last time you had one?
Craig. I'm real. I'm raw and no cut.
Okay. So
I have had one.
So did these 2 people fuck you, or was it a little bit?
We're not gonna get into details.
Oh, okay.
But I'm a person. I have lived, and what I will say is, I have lived. And let me say this: it ain't nothing that has been recent. You know, you young, you do long time ago.
Well, you know, you say you young, but some people still out here doing them.
Well, I'm not out here doing them, so that's all I'm gonna say. But however, I'm not gonna do that in my relationship.
Yeah,
I'm just not gonna do it in my relationship. Now, have
Y'all
I did
should
it?
talk about that on another in depth.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all should.
Mm-hmm.
That's a good one. That's a good topic.
But yeah,
but you know, I'm gonna say this. I really do think that a lot of gay men, and I'm not going to qualify and say black gay men, but gay men across the board, I really do think that gay men, on some level, whether it's a subconscious level or a conscious level, believe that all of that kind of sexual deviance is a rite of passage. I think a lot of gay men, black, white, Hispanic, whatever, really do think that all of that sexual exploration and sleeping with this person and that, and sleeping with whoever
why do you think that is?
Right. Sleeping with whoever you're attracted to is just a part of being gay. And what I'm saying is it doesn't have to be.
Is it because society tells you that this is dysfunctional to begin with? Why is that?
I personally think that it happens as frequently as it does. It's because most of us come into this community after years of depriving ourselves, denying, being in denial, being in the closet, not acting on the feelings. And so when you finally do come out and you start, you may not be out to people, but when you finally do start to have sex with other guys and stuff like that, it's almost like you're playing catch up for all of the years, for all of the years that you didn't fuck around. Oh, you interested in me too? Oh, let me fuck you too. Oh, you want me to suck your dick? Oh, he fine. Oh, he gay too? Oh, let me. It's almost like you'll just do it because you're just excited that there's another guy that's interested in you.
I have a friend like that. And we talk about this all the time. I tell everybody all the time, people that I know or people who want to come to Atlanta. The reason why I say Atlanta because this is where I reside. But what I was saying is, don't come to Atlanta and let Atlanta chew you up and spit you out.
Because it will.
Because let me tell you something. I have 2-3 friends right now, and we talk. I just ran into one the other night. And the person is doing better, but what I tell them, I
thought it was fish powder.
Atlanta would chew you up and spit you out, and it's a lot of things that people are they can get here. And what I mean by that, people come from small towns, they're not used to being out all night and different things. And I tell people all the time, you come here,
and then you come here, and there's a high concentration of gay men of all colors.
Never seen that before.
Some of the most beautiful gay men, and somebody wink at you in the bathroom, and you just go sucking his dick because it's a bathroom and it's right there, or you in a gym, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times when we have these conversations, there are always people in the comments say, "Oh, stop sex shaming." I'm not sex shaming, but what I am saying is everybody isn't having or participating in all of this random, anonymous, wanton sex because they want to. Some of them are doing it because they believe that it's a part of gay culture.
Interesting.
You know what I mean? This is just what men do. We're men, so what difference does it make? You know, so it doesn't matter if you're in a relationship and you're out here doing whatever you're doing in a park or a bathhouse or a gym or what. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, oh well, you know, it's like, where are the boundaries? And it's almost like, and I used to have this conversation with a good friend of mine, and don't email me because I don't give a damn. I'm gonna say what I want to say. I had a friend, we used to talk about this all the time. It's almost like gay men will sometimes have sex with anybody they're attracted to simply because you can't get pregnant.
Oh.
So it's like, well, what the fuck am I? All I got to do is worry about STDs. So like, what? I can just fuck whoever I want. You know what I mean? But where are the boundaries? Where are your standards? And what baffles me and what has baffled me for years, and I've been really playing with this for like a couple months now, and I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but what I've been playing with for months is, as gay men, and this is not all gay men, but as gay men, we're typically really high fashioned, driving the latest and greatest cars. Skin is usually on point. Teeth are usually on point. Getting our hair cut done every week. Getting our clothes in order. We ran the best labels, live in the best neighborhood. But what's going on in here? But we're also okay with partying and clubbing in these dark, dank clubs. These raggedy ass clubs that are, oh, you okay with sucking dick behind a movie theater? Or you okay with being fucked behind a building? So it's like, you got all these standards until it comes to sex, until it comes to human interaction. And so for me, I feel like I'm caught between two worlds. For me.
But let me say this, Craig. The way the world is changing, I know we're speaking about gays right now, but the way the world has turned, women is doing it too.
And I'm not saying that. I'm not
I
saying
know a
that.
lot of women.
The women just navigate differently.
And that's what I was gonna say. And like, and that's the other thing. Like, either people will say, when I say stuff like this, people will say, "Well, you're sex shaming," or they'll say, "Well, straight people do it too." We ain't talking about straight people. I know straight people do it, but I'm talking about us. It seems like we do it at a higher rate. And what I'm saying, and I've said this before, I have a homegirl that I went to college with who used to do that same thing on Match.com. She used to go on Match, she hook up with meet a guy, go, they fuck, she block him, then she go meet somebody else and fuck. So I'm not saying that straight people don't do it. But it's just like when issues happen in the Black community and Black folks talk about those issues in the Black community, there's always a crop of Black people to say, well, that happens in the white community too. But we're talking about cleaning up the Black community. We ain't talking about the other communities. And so right now, I'm talking about how do we clean up. Thank you, Mike. Mike said, oh, I'm picking up what you're putting down. So right now, I'm talking about how do we clean up the gay community. So those young gays coming behind me and Keon aren't thinking that it's normal to be sucking somebody's dick through a glory hole in a bookstore. You don't even know who's on the other side of that wall, and somebody's putting their dick through. What do you think? And if somebody's putting their dick through the hole, and you sucking their dick, or you putting your ass up there and letting them fuck you, and you don't even know who's on the other side of that wall. That's not trauma coming to. I think it's trauma. I think it's a lack of self-worth. I think it's a lack of self-esteem. It's self-loathing. It's internalized homophobia. It's a lot of stuff. It's the way that we some see themselves before they come into this community because the way society looks at gay people. So I think it's a lot. Sometimes people think that it's wrong to be gay. You know what I mean? So you do all of these self-deprecating things. Are glory holes still a thing? Yes, they are.
Child Hitler probably got worse now.
You know what you just said? Trauma, lack of self-worth, self-esteem, everything that y'all talked about tonight. And y'all talked about young parents getting it from the mud, relationships, being homosexual. At the root, the underpinning of all this dysfunction is what you just said.
Yes, indeed.
It's what you just said. Yeah. That we need to heal.
Don't go no more. We're gonna end it.
As a community.
We need to heal. So, anyway, with that said, that's a part of what I want to do when gay like me, aka outspoken, comes to TV. Somebody said, Craig's singing a lot. Craig's singing some shit. Are people really out here doing it? Yes, they are. And let me say this, and we're going to wrap it up. The other thing, too, that's baffling me is why so many gays, and I'm not saying straight people don't do it, but we're talking about gays because that's what we do over here. I don't understand why so many gays are getting fucked or fucking on Twitter.
What do you mean?
But your face just out there, or some of them got their mask on, or whatever. And it's just like,
think about that. That's the new Pornhub. That's the new. But you gotta think about it. So Craig, look. So and I don't do it. So, but what I'm saying is, and I was talking about this with somebody the other day, and they were saying, what's the difference from when our parents used to watch it on DVD? Well, the difference is. The only difference is more accessible now, and that you can see it on the internet.
Yeah. Well, that's the new version.
But that's the new version.
When I was younger, it's like those teenage boys had Playboy under their.
Oh, they
had OnlyFans. It's like.
But there is a difference.
What's the difference?
And I'm gonna tell you that everybody wasn't doing it. Everybody didn't have Playboy under their bed. Yeah, there were people who had it.
There is more exposure.
But what I'm saying is, it's almost like social media has made some of you motherfuckers crazy. Y'all want to be famous so badly. And if it means putting your dick out and you jacking off in a subway train in New York City, or you fucking in a stairwell in New York City, there's a problem.
Well, crazy.
There's something wrong.
They're making 30,000, 75,000.
No, hold on. Some of those people aren't making any money. Some of those people aren't making money. Some of those people just want to be sensational. And what I'm saying is, it's just like, what happened? Like, do you not think that you may have a future? What happens if you on Twitter right now getting fucked or fucking or jacking off or whatever you're doing, your face is all showing and whatever? What happens if in 3 years you want to be in a relationship, and then you meet somebody who's really amazing. And he's like, well, wait a minute, is that you?
Because people are in the moment. They're not thinking about that.
Or you want to become governor. Or you want to run for superintendent of your school district. That's the shit that they pull up. Is this you? Ass out, spread all over? This is the shit that they pull up to vet you.
But now,
when you want to run for Congress. And it's given very much so. Yeah. What was this about? Is this you?
Well, Craig, I mean, I get it in that way, but now how
the internet is forever.
But then also too, you got celebrities doing it.
I don't give a damn.
What I'm saying is the people who, because nowadays people don't look up to their mother, their brother, their sister, their siblings. People looking up to Beyonce. People looking up to.
But Beyonce ain't got no OnlyFans.
But Beyonce does.
What? Beyonce what? Don't be blaspheming her. Don't.
But
Beyonce does what?
I ain't gonna say it no more. But the people pick up what I put down because I said it. But however, what I'm saying is people are looking at these people who are.
That's very true.
What?
With this?
The one below. Right there.
With this one?
Yeah.
What's also interesting, though, what? Oh, is TV, movies, and other media forms will show lesbian couples as experiencing a more committed relationship than gays dating each other. There is a divide. There is. Because whenever you see gay couples on TV shows, there's always that element of hooking up and, this anonymous sex and just that immediate this right now. I really do believe that there needs to be a demonstration, and that's the shit that I want to kind of create. Okay, she will turn the lights off in my house. She's playing. But my thing is, I think that's the difference. And part of what I want to put into the world is a different perspective for gay people, because I want to show committed relationships, and I want to show that it's not just about hooking up. Everything ain't got to be sexualized and this, that, and the third. But that's all you really see. And then the second behind that, Empire and Queer as Folk, whenever you see a gay person, a black gay person on TV, a lot of times they're in a long-term committed relationship with somebody that's other. They're either white or they're Hispanic. Name a TV show where you saw two black guys in a long-term committed relationship. Right. You haven't. You just haven't. But on that note, you guys have an amazing night.
Brush your teeth.
Brush your teeth, floss your teeth, and brush your tongue. Because if you haven't brushed your tongue, then you really haven't brushed your teeth. And ain't nobody trying to kiss you with all that germ and shit from the earlier that day. You had.
Do you scrub your tongue?
Yes, indeed. You had hummus and shit.
You know what you should also brush? The insides of your mouth.
Of your cheeks.
Here, up here, and you know what? Your lips.
Oh, I do my lips sometimes. Yeah. It helps exfoliate.
That's why.
That's why my lips are so soft and kissable. So if you ever get the chance to kiss these lips,
grandma threw up.
Have an amazing night. Thank you for the Cash Apps. Thank you for the Zelles. We appreciate you for watching. We appreciate you for sharing the video, liking the video, and subscribing to the channel.
Run the commercials.
Oh, what commercials?
Run the Patreon one and run. Oh, wait. Before we go off. Because we talk about a lot of shit. Honest Hour.
Yes, the last Thursday in February.
Yes, Honest Hour.
Okay. If you are a small black-owned business, black or brown-owned business, we are going to feature your product here on the Honest Hour. It's going to be the last Thursday in February. Send your product to my P.O. Box. The information is in the caption of the video. Or you can go to my website, craigthewriterstewart.com, purchase some books. And then under the contact button, my P.O. Box is there. You can send your product in. If you're going to send your product in, make sure that it has a great label on it. Make sure that it has your website on it, because we're going to shout all of that stuff out. And if your product is trash, we're going to tell you that it's trash. If it's really good, then we're going to tell you that it's good. But this is a way for us to help promote your business. It is free. So have an amazing night. But why his finger got to be off? Why you can't go over top the lens?
Girl, go ahead.
Girl, I'm going to teach you about production.
Get insurance.
Go over the top. Don't cover the lens to do all of that. Go ahead.
Get insurance tomorrow if you don't already
Get you some life insurance. Call State Farm, Allstate, Prudential, somebody. You can get you tell them your budget is $30 a month if that's all you got. And if all you can get is $20,000, then get you $20,000.
That's right.
Bye.
Hit the button, bitch.
Which
No.
one is it? This one?
Yeah, hit that one.
Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig, the writer Stewart. Yes.
I told you we ain't using that no more.
You got another intro? Did you come up with an intro?
I think I'll give it a shot.
All right, well, let's see what you
What's
got.
going on? It is your boy Keon Stafford.
And I'm Craig, the writer Stewart.
And this is your official invitation to our Patreon video.
The link is scrolling right here. It's patreon.com/Craig and Keon.
Get on over there right now and hit the link and subscribe to our channel.
It's for all of our exclusive content. You're not going to see it anyplace else. So join now. And if you want to join mine, it's patreon.com/Craig, the writer Stewart. Bye. Say bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Bye. What's up, everybody? I'm Craig, the writer Stewart.
And I'm your boy Keon Stafford.
Welcome to the Thursday Night Live,
Where we give you funny shit.
to take your mind off the bullshit,
So sit back,
relax,
grab a drink.
and enjoy the motherfucking show.
What's up, y'all? It is your boy Keon Stafford. Welcome to my official YouTube channel where we laugh, we cry, we talk shit, and most of all, we have some fun. So while you at it, go ahead and hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and hit that bell so you won't miss me live weekly. While you at it, follow me on all social platforms at The Real Keon Stafford. So until next time, bye.
Good day, thinkers, thought leaders, progressives, and dreamers. I'm Craig, the writer Stewart, and this is So Much to Say YouTube TV. These are my thoughts, in my voice, on black shit, white shit, gay shit, and everything in between. Now, So Much to Say YouTube TV is the place that you come to learn and grow. So go ahead and hit the like button, the share button, and the subscribe button. And turn on that little bell so that you get a notification every single time that I go live or I upload something new. Now sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.